Hello everyone, how are you going? Welcome to How to Be Everyone's Favorite Person, How to Be a Road Biker. Now this is just one in many of the fantastic series of how to be Canadian, American, everything else under the sun. And so let's just see, does this stack up to the rest of them? I reckon it will.
How to be a road biker. Follow these steps and you too can be like us. Step 1. Buy a road bike. Buy a road bike that you have to remortgage your house for and can lift with your pinky finger. Now that you have one bike, buy 5 more for the following disciplines: cyclocross, commuting, time trial, fondo, and gravel. Remember that the maximum number of bikes you can own is determined by the N+1 formula, where N is the number of bikes you currently own. Step 2.
Straight off the start, just absolutely blowing it out of the water. That is fantastic. N+1. I mean, to be honest, it pretty much lines up with everything that I've ever seen. Just people just dig themselves a massive grave. And I mean, like they said, just remortgaging or just not even buying a house in the first place just to be able to afford a carbon fiber 2-gram bike. And look, there is no disputing the fact that it's not incredible technology. The fact that all these parts and components can just get lighter and better and faster and whatever else it may be, even just down to helmets for aerodynamics. But really, I don't think I've ever seen all of these different, just what are they called, disciplines, I guess you would call them, from cyclocross. What is cyclocross? I guess that looks like mountain biking tires but thin. I have no idea. Commuting, I can understand that. Time trial. What is this? Fondo.
Buy 5 more for the following disciplines: cyclocross, commuting, time trial, fondo.
What is Fondo? I mean, that just looks like a generic road bike that you see people just getting around on. It's not even a fixie, but if it was, I would definitely just not be surprised.
And gravel.
And then gravel as well on top of that. I mean, I didn't even clock that the first time around, but I feel as though gravel is not road. I mean, I guess you can have gravel roads, but I'm thinking that that would be more classified as the off-road segment than the on-road segment, most of the time at least.
Step 2. Spend whatever little money you have left on a winter training bike. You wouldn't want to get your other shiny bikes wet or dirty. Step 3. Know what kind of road biker you are and dress accordingly. Racer, commuter, cyclocrosser, gravel epic racer, randoner, coffee shop poser, or Fred. Step 4. Invest in a good pair of padded shorts. Without them, you won't sit properly for days. Step 5. Learn how to ride with your feet clipped into your pedals. The 30% increase in efficiency is more than worth the number of falls you're bound to take.
That is something that I must admit I'm always very, I guess, impressed by, if nothing else. Just the fact that people don't just stack it more often. I mean, you do see a whole bundle of compilations and even just out on the road, people do stack it. But man, people get very, very good at just clipping and unclipping their foot, don't they? I mean, I guess in saying that, I've certainly never heard about the fact that it could be up to 30% better. I mean, I guess thinking about it, it certainly does make sense, as you're not having to worry about actually keeping your feet on the pedals. You just get to push to your heart's content. But in saying that, it is also very impressive, or at least I find it very impressive, that people can sit on that tiny little seat, especially just road bike seats. You know, you look at those things, there's about, what, 5 mil between you and just metal or aluminium or whatever it may be. And so even though he may have gone out and just invested a little bit more money into himself, just making sure that he's just got that little bit of extra comfort, just really just doing it day in, day out, I can't believe people can just sit on the seat. Like, people just get saddle sore from just being in their cars, let alone on the bicycle seat.
Step 6. Learn basic road biker jargon such as the following: watts, bonk, slam, snap, off, tempo, chamois, carback, endo, cadence, hammer, fondo, arrow, threshold, breakaway, century, peloton, and VO2 max.
How many were there? I mean, at least I know VO2 max and I also do know peloton, but otherwise I think every single one went over my head as though it's a Tour de France. Like, you know, what could possibly be a carback unless you were talking about how you're getting them around? I mean, otherwise, what else did we have? I need to just play it at quarter speed probably. What's bonk? No idea. Slam? No. Snow? No. Tempo? I mean, tempo of riding in a pack, perhaps. That's the only thing I can imagine. Chamois? I mean, what, for cleaning and just making sure that you keep your 5 road bikes clean? I mean, I can understand that one. You wouldn't want to get it dirty. Like you said, you just have to have an extra bike to keep the other bikes clean. But then continuing on, you know, all of these words are already words. It's not just made up words. They already have definitions. And so I don't know what they mean in the bicycle scene.
Now you need someone to ride with. Join any club or team and buy their kit.
Yes.
It won't make you any faster, but at least you'll fit in.
Sure about that?
I'm off!
Step 8. Get used to the soothing feeling of chamois butter. Step 9. If your ride's not on Strava, it didn't happen.
That's fantastic as well, just making sure that you were just drawing all the different shapes and just getting your Ks and everything just logged. Otherwise, like you said, it did not happen. How are you possibly going to be bragging and just proving to people that you actually did it if you don't have it just in an orange line? However, coming back to this one, it certainly shows us that there is only so much those padded pants can do. I mean, especially just being so tight, everything is just locked in, and so, yeah, there's going to be some friction involved in that.
Step 10. Wear one of these stupid hats. Everyone will take you seriously when you wear one of these.
What are they?
Step Step 11. Become a weight weenie.
I think the red bar takes faster.
Step 12. Coffee isn't just a beverage, it's a lifestyle. Take coffee snobbery to the next level.
What are you using? Where is your espresso maker? Is this milk even organic? Ugh, is that white sugar? Are you trying to poison me?
Step 13. Start an obnoxious diet by eating foods that the majority of the population doesn't know exist.
Wow, seriously? Kale? You know you could be eating dandelion greens, right? Maybe when you see buckthorn around, omega-7 levels are just diving recently.
However, you will make exceptions to this rule for beer and coffee.
Recovery day!
Recovery day!
Oh, whoa, that guy's going a little bit harder as well. My goodness, I don't know what it's got there, but I guess it's all about balance, you know? Whether you're just trying to stay upright, not fall over, and just not get clipped in and things like that, to then just eating right and eating things that, like they said, just don't exist on the human scale, to then just choosing your poison. I now do want to know, though, what are dandelion greens in particular in terms of recipes and things like that? What are dandelion greens in Australia? Referred to as a weed and generally sprayed with poison. Alright, well, maybe they're just different or not edible depending on where you are in the world. I mean, even the fact that I've never heard of the things just says a lot, because I would have thought that out of everywhere in the world, just driving through Newtown, walking through Newtown, if I was going through there, I would have seen a sign, but I just haven't. But to be fair, perhaps I do just have to be the one to bring it down into Australia, because generally I feel as though we're about a year or two behind. I mean, I don't know, this was made 9 years ago, so then we're very, very, very long way behind. So that does now make me wonder, what else are we missing out on? Because even, for example, I know that, let's just say the rest of the world had, brioche buns, and we just had plain burger buns, and then the rest of the world moved on to potato buns, and we still haven't even got them yet.
Nobody really knows why, but you have to shave your body. Shave your legs, shave your chest, shave everything.
Wow.
If anyone asks you why, choose from the following.
Yeah, it makes me more aero. You slide better when you crash. It's better for massages. Haven't you read the rules? Everyone else does it.
Step 16. Buy a Garmin and use it on every ride. In fact, use it all the time.
Oh, I'm gonna KOM!
Step 17. Choose your arch enemy from the following list: mountain biker, triathlete, clueless cyclist, motorist, pothole, or gluten. Step 18.
Or gluten, just wrapping it up. These guys just don't hold back, and especially, I mean, I don't want to linger on it too long, but that was just outrageous. I mean, it just was an entire thing of outrageous things. Even just going from the dry shavings like nails on a chalkboard, please just stop it. I mean, just do what you want in terms of shaving, but just not like that. I mean, I guess in saying that, if I do have to disagree with one point, it's the fact that he said you were going to slide better. Surely that is just not a thing. I mean, even animals have fur for a reason. It protects them, and so I reckon just having a few hairs is probably, well, not going to hurt you anymore. I had no idea what KOM even meant, and I just had to search it up, but that just makes it even worse. The crown signifies the top performer in a given segment. I mean, I guess you just have to give credit where credit is due, but my goodness, just to be tracking everything, just lay off a second.
Step 18. Know the difference between IPA and EPO. If you don't know, ask someone with a yellow Live Strong wristband. Step 19. Learn absolutely nothing about how to fix your bike. There are plenty of bike shops that will be pleased to do the dirty work for you.
I read on the internet that you could put a Di2 derailleur on a SRAM shifter. Can you do that to my bike?
Step 20. Brag about how many miles you put on your bike, and make sure it's more than your car.
Yeah, I did a double century yesterday, this morning, this afternoon, and you know what? I think I'll do another one right now.
Step
I can't not be impressed with that, just doing, wow, and they're talking about miles as well. I mean, this is generally Canadian, but they're talking about miles, and so that is even more impressive. Like, he's done 2000k on the bike in, what was it, 3 days or so? There's nothing to be snuffed up there. You definitely just have to go, well, hats off to you. Even with your 5 bikes, I'm sure you're just running them all into the ground with those kind of miles. You're going to have no tires left. I mean, I guess that is exactly then why the bike shop exists, and you can just take it in and spend all your money just going, yes, please, just take more of my money. Just, I guess an oil change for the hydraulic brakes. Yeah, sure. You know, there wasn't a bubble in it before, and yes, you might have just taken a straw to it, but hey, sure, just take $200 just for a very simple thing overall. And look, I've never been in the cycling scene enough to know what this guy possibly said. I mean, honestly, I can only imagine that he just said a whole bundle of words and parts and things that don't go together, and that's why, well, he kind of copped one to the face, but at the same time, I would love to know if anyone could just make that Frankenstein's monster work.
I read on the internet that you could put a Di2 derailleur on a SRAM shifter. Can you do that to my bike?
I mean, sure, if that means something to you, then just go for it, and I'd love to know what that actually looks like. That's what we need, like a ChatGPT of just images instead.
You know what? I think I'll do another one right now.
Step 21. Sign up for a Grand Fondo. Sure, you could ride the same route on another day for hundreds of dollars less, but where's the fun in that? Step 22. Remember that spandex is revealing. Get used to avoiding looking at every person's junk. Step 23. No more excuses. Hard enough. up. Unless it's a recovery day.
Oh, guys, it's my recovery day.
Oh, poor fella.
Or a recovery week. Step 24.
Whoa, that guy has just got them all under control. I mean, I guess if you're mates, then just do that, but I just want to know how they spin the wheel to know who's just in recovery that week. I am finally glad to have a little bit more context surrounding a Fondo, and I don't think I've ever heard that word before, and so I don't know if it is called something different in Australia, and I guess I should probably just look at, well, I was about to say look at the clothing that those guys wear according to these guys, but to be fair, I can only imagine that they modeled it. Well, they've got plenty of models right there, let's just call it that. I mean, I guess if nothing else, I do now need to know what is a grand Fondo or a grand Fondo. Either way, I'm seeing a lot of questions and just answers about 100 kilometers, and so that's what I'm going to assume it is. But also, the Italian term loosely translates to big ride, so that's where it comes from. And so yeah, I don't think that I've ever heard Australians say anything like that, but I wonder now what we use. Oh, actually, just scratch that, is literally the next link. So there we go, Australia. I guess we do use Grand Fondo, but I've just never heard of it. I guess it's probably because we use more marathon and things like that, and you see groups of people doing marathons, not too many just mega pelotons.
Step 24. Pray to the cycling gods that your favorite athlete isn't caught doping. Step 25. Don't be surprised when people identify you as a cyclist by your tan lines. Step 26. Own the road. Motorists will be more than happy to share the road with an environmentally conscious and active citizen like yourself.
Hey, get a car.
And finally, now that you know how to be a road biker, plan your next epic excursion to the nearest coffee shop.
Oh yes.
What did we miss? Leave a comment in the comment section below.
Honestly, I don't think they missed a single thing. They honestly taught me some stuff as well, and even though it might be a bit of just kind of regional dialect, I'm sure that this thing carries internationally. I mean, even Fondo was international, and I'd never heard of that before. But no, like usual, these guys have absolutely nailed every single possible thing that I could ever think of, from the coffee shop to the outerwear to the innerwear to the bikes that you have to get, whatever it may be. It is just absolutely spot on. And so if nothing else, this video just provides us that absolute clean and cut evidence as to the entire mindset of the cyclist. You know, yes, you just might develop a few enemies and arch rivals along the way, be it the pothole or the motorcyclist, whatever it may be, but when you were just one in, all in, like you do with cycling, be it from these kind of things to then just buying the right bike or the right Leica or the right helmet, whatever it may be, it is just such a pack mindset. And hey, I guess there are certainly worse ways to be spending your life, but also just be careful out there.